Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are inside of the Pastor Study. I'm Pastor Marcus Jones. I got Bishop right next to me. And on tonight, on remote location, we got our other co-host. Let me bring him in. Pastor Collins is with us as well. We're all here at M3. Amen. The preaching fraternity is here tonight. How y'all doing?
Sir.
Y'all doing all right?
Yeah, we're doing great on tonight, man.
Okay.
Looking forward to the show.
Good. Bishop, how you doing?
I'm in the Witness Protection Program. This is me, but it's not me, but I'm me while I'm being me. So since you're going to be you, I'm going to be somebody else.
Who you going to be?
Zorro. I'm doing that. I used to like it. I'm going to give me a sword. So this is going to be my sword.
Okay. Who you fight?
The devil.
Okay. You fighting the right person. Oh, man. Y'all have a pretty good weekend?
Man.
Had a blast.
You had a blast. How was your weekend, Doc?
My weekend went well. It went well, man, and I'm just thankful that we keep making it through the weekends. You know, it ain't been easy. We've been still pastoring through the pandemic, something that we've never done, but we're still making it. We're still surviving.
Right.
And I want to just encourage all of the pastors out there to keep on keeping on. I know it ain't been easy to do what we've been doing, but let's stay encouraged. Let's be encouraged to keep doing what we've been doing.
And I want you to be encouraged, Reverend Jones, because I just been wondering about you and Marshall. When y'all gonna have church outside again?
Well, man, we ain't built like you. We ain't built like you, Doc. We can't do it every week, but I get out there once a month. I think Bishop done had his fair share of outside.
Hey, I was out there consecutively for 7 Sundays. So 7 is a number of completion. So I am complete. I'll tell you right now. We got A&K sanitations here at the church, and we make sure we follow all PPE and CDC guidelines and sanitation set up. So, we inside, Doc. August is a hot month for everybody, August is a hot month. It's, so.
And also, we all got through our homecoming and revival.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you all for being a part of St. Mary's revival last week. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Great time.
All right. We're inside of the study tonight. And let me ask you to do 3 things. Matter of fact, we're going to add one to the thing. I want you to like. I want you to share. I want you to comment and subscribe to our YouTube page. We're on there inside the Pastor Study. We're getting ready for a great conversation. And guess what? Tonight, we're bringing it back. What is it, Bishop?
The school or not to school? I mean, we got to talk about this. This is a hot subject, okay? This is a very, very hot subject. You got to understand why. Here's why. Tell you why. Here you go right here. It's because a lot of people are really nervous about this pandemic. So what I'm doing tonight, I want to make sure you know how to properly wear your mask.
Well, what you got in front of you?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. This is how I feel about life lately. I feel like that when we look at everything that's been going on and how we've been dealing with stuff, we've been dealing with the family issues. We've been dealing with finances. We've been dealing with our faith. And sometimes it feels like life is nothing but a big old chess game. And it feels like that we are the pieces on that, what I'm saying, on that tables. Here goes stress and financial woes, marital problems, just fake friends, real enemies, and we just all trying to just make it, just trying to make it. And so I feel like even though this is our life right now, I think that God is going to end up turning some things around, and one day we're going to end up being able to say, checkmate.
All right. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, let's get ready to bring on some guests. We got some great guests on tonight. Please, one more time, like, share, comment, and subscribe. We're on YouTube Live right now. Subscribe to YouTube. All right, let's go ahead with the guest, Bishop.
Well. I got to be honest with you. To school or not to school? Last week, we talked to principals and instructional specialists. The week before that, we talked with some educators, okay? A teacher who shared her wisdom on how she handles it. But now we want to go outside. Electives, okay? After school activities, the other things that keep the mind of the kids going, because we all know, for me, for instance, I know I didn't play football.
No, you didn't play football.
Nor did I play basketball.
No, you didn't play basketball.
But guess what I did play?
Okay.
What's that?
I played band.
Okay.
That's right. I played band. That was my after school thing. And I love it. Played trombone. Sat first, sometimes second chair, sometimes third chair. You know, but hey, I was in the marching band, one of the baddest bands in the land, Forest Brook Senior High School, known as the Baby Jukebox. Ask about it. Matter of fact, I know somebody know about him because we're going to bring him on. And none other, we have the band director of one of the baddest bands in East Texas here with us tonight. Matter of fact, people come to all the homecoming parades. They come to the Rose Parade. Everybody loves to see this band take the field. When some bands take the field, people go get concessions. But when this band take the field, people put their butts in the seats. Come on, we talking about one of the baddest man, Mr. Larry Wade, the director of the John Tyler Marching Band, known as Now, he's also a member of the social club Kappa Alpha Psi.
Oh, really? The social club.
How you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing good. How y'all doing?
All right. Come on,
Doing
tell us
great.
a little bit about yourself. We know you've been everywhere, so come on, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Born and raised here in Tyler, Texas. I'm the son of Pastor Wade Sr. I'm Larry Jr., a graduate of John Tyler High School, Tyler Junior College, and the baddest band in the land, the March of Storm at Prairie View A&M University. And and I was able to come back home to be part of try to build something great here at John Tyler High School. And so I'm here now. I've been here probably about 10 years as a band director. And so I'm glad to be here and trying to do what we can to try to mold musicians and bring awareness to music to them.
All right. Awesome. Thank you for being with us on tonight.
Well, thank y'all for having me.
Who else do we have?
Man, look here. Y'all know I had to invite him into the study.
Who was that?
Of course, y'all know. I played basketball one point of time in my life. I'm an All-American.
What American is that?
At the YMCA. They know me. They know me at the Y. They know me. I'm a bad boy. And so, look here. Tonight, on a different level, we going to the collegiate side as well, too. Man, this young man, all the way from Houston, Texas, went to one of the greatest institutions, one of the greatest HBCUs in East Texas, the first institution of higher learning in the city of Tyler. He's a graduate of their school from 1894, Texas College. That's right, baby. My boy. Bring him on in. Jamal Evans.
Hey. What's going on? How y'all doing?
Sir.
All right.
Doing great.
Hey,
Tell us a little bit about yourself, Doc.
Hey, Jamal Evans, assistant men's basketball coach at Texas College for 10 years. Also a proud alum of Texas College. Been in Tyler since 2003. Came down here as a 17-year-old and been stuck ever since.
Awesome, man. Thank you for being part of us on tonight. Bishop, we got one more.
Man, look here. We talking about band. We talking about sports.
What's your other passion?
But believe it or not, I like to sing a little bit.
You like to sing that?
I like to sing a little bit. Oh, oh. You did you hear me? To be too fine. La, 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 la. That's me. I like to sing, Doc. And so, since I like to sing, we decided to go down there and pick one of the baddest musicians, one of the baddest pianists, one of the baddest vocalists, baddest vocal coach in East Texas.
Yeah.
Because believe it or not, East Texas got a whole lot of talent.
Yeah.
Whole lot of hidden jewels. And we're going to bring it out. Yes, we are. Oh, yeah, we are. None other. Down there in Henderson, Texas, have Brother John P. Sterling.
Thank you for that introduction. I appreciate
Starling.
that.
Sorry.
Thank you. Hello, gentlemen. I'm John Starling. I'm head choir director here at Henderson High School. I'm now in my 8th year here and 8th year in education. I'm also an alum from Henderson High School and glad to be back to help continue this program. And I hope when God moves me away from here, it will continue.
All right. That's awesome. All right. We're getting ready to go into the conversation on tonight. And we thank you all for being part of us on tonight. Some of you, well, let's just go ahead and get into it. Brother Starling has already started school with students. Larry, have you started school yet with students?
No, we haven't started school. August 19th is supposed to be the go date for Tyler Independent School District. So we haven't started school yet
Okay.
with students.
Jamal Evans, when does school start at Texas College?
School starts at Texas College actually tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Wow. So it's good that we're on tonight to start this conversation to school or not to school. That's the question.
It's a question people been wondering. People been running. So I have to ask you guys. I have to ask you because it is definitely important, okay? It is important, and I want to talk with Mr. Starling first. How have your first week been? How was it?
Well, for me, I consider myself blessed. I have not had any trouble with my students in regards to wearing masks, in regards to keeping a safe distance. Now, I think every school in the country is going to have the issue with students just wanting to be near each other because they may or may not have seen each other since the pandemic started. But other than that, I have no issues with my students. I do know that there are some teachers in my building that have had to put students out of class for either they didn't want to wear the mask or they just didn't want to cooperate. But I consider myself, as I said, blessed. I haven't had a single moment's trouble with any of my students. So as far as that, it's been great.
Wow. And what preparation did you have to take in terms of getting your choir room situated, getting it together? Because we all know that we have to do these things.
Well, for me, I don't have the biggest choir room. The choir room that I teach in is relatively old now. So it's a pretty small room. And so to social distance the chairs as far as I can is they're pretty much sitting on top of me, basically. However, we do give the students an option to go online or come to school. So half of my program is not here. So that kind of cuts down the number so that we can sort of make it. Also, we have several entrances to our room. However, this year we're only using one to try to cut down on things. And then we're sanitizing every single chair between every class as quickly as we can. And then all students have to wear a mask, and we as staff as well have to wear a mask. So we're just doing the best we can.
Wow, that's good. Now, for you, Dr. Larry Wade, you know what I'm saying? One band, one sound, okay? Man, as you get ready, were you able to have band camp?
Well, one of the things that I decided to do was not to do band camp And the reason being, we're just got into our new facility on last Monday, so we've been in the process of trying to unpack everything. Now, thankfully, we got a huge facility that we're able to spread the students out. But I just didn't want to rush it. I didn't want to take a chance, and I sure didn't want to be on the news for having a student catch something. We ain't even started school yet, so I think it's just one of them things. It's best to be on the safe side than on another side. So we didn't have band camp. We're going to start on day one. And with UIL, with some of the rules, they actually pushed back a lot of our protocols a whole month back, starting September 7th. So as far as after school stuff, that's when we're going to do after school now, August 19th. Whoever shows up, I'm going to teach them. And who don't show up, I'm still going to teach them online. So I just felt like it just wasn't the time to try to rush and do summer band camp right now. And plus, it's going to take a couple weeks just to even get situated into our new band hall facility. So I didn't do it this year. Now, some bands did, and they feel like they needed to, and that's fine. But I got to look over the students that I'm over. And so it's most important because I got to answer to the parents and stuff. And so I just decided not to do it this year.
Wow. And you said a key thing, even in these extracurricular activities, you do have to answer to the parents, because this is contact. Band is very contact, not only with your instrument, the sanitation of mouthpieces, and different things like that. Each student must have their own mouthpiece, all these different things, practicing, and you kind of one-on-one. And when you talk about contact, I want to go to Coach Jamal Evans. Now, your school, Coach Jamal, decided that they're going to have school online this year.
Yes, sir.
Online this year. So can you tell us a little bit about that? And how would that either help or affect the program that you serve?
Online school for this semester, I think it was a good idea. I think it was a good idea for now. The only thing that we have to, take in consideration with the online school is trying to get the students to actually register to be online. So we're trying to find different avenues to try to get them to register online, because me personally, I feel like a lot of students are just gonna, just go to work and things like that, and our registration may take a hit for that. We're supposed to come back in spring, in the spring semester, which sports, which was basketball. We're supposed to go right into our conference in the spring. So I'm not sure. We're just trying, having different little seminars and things to try to get these students to register here at the school for the online classes.
Do you think by any chance that registration or enrollment on the collegiate level will go down during this particular time? I mean, normally to recruit for a good basketball player and even a good vocalist and even a good band student, a good musician, normally the band directors would come to the band room and audition a student, or normally coaches would come to a few practices. How has recruiting been, and how will recruiting be for you guys, if people cannot go out and if you all cannot go and recruit these students?
It's been extremely hard and frustrating because we're the type of coaches, we want to see talent. So we can't go and to recruit out somewhere and actually watch an athlete play. So we have to do everything from video, highlight clips and things like that. And it becomes frustrating when the students want to come visit the campus. A lot of these students, they're very visual. They want to see what they're getting themselves into. And our campus has been closed down since March. So it's kind of hard, talking to the parents, talking to the students, because they're kind of going into, we're really kind of recruiting blind. Students want to see, parents want to come check out the campus and things like that, and we're not allowed to do that. So even with the returning players, so it's just like it's kind of it's extremely frustrating recruiting. We've lost a couple of recruits because some schools are having where you can come on campus and things like that, and we're online. So we've lost a couple of recruits during this. So it's been extremely frustrating on our end as far as recruiting. But we're trying to get these guys in, trying to like I said, find different avenues to get them in. You have to be creative.
Wow, that is so true. I believe that you do have to be creative and you have to be innovative during this particular time. Now, for Dr. Starling, I want to ask you, Dr. Starling, what are some of the things that you're going to do with your choir students? We know about UIL, we know about solo and ensemble, we know about teaching them, and music is very important. How can you work with your students, keep them motivated, and even trying to get to the point of where they're saying, hey, I want to be here. I want to be a part of this. I want to do this. I don't want to give up. What are some things that you're going to have to do?
Well, for me, I took a leap of faith this year. Typically, and as I think most of us are taught when you leave school, we're taught a certain way to go, with the music that we decide to sing, or the way that we just structure our concerts, and especially there's an agenda with the contest music. This is, the type of music you're going to sing. So this year I took a leap of faith and I said, all right, we're going to leave the traditional way of choir, music and all, and we're going to go a different route. And so I actually wrote a lot of music over the summer and arranged a lot of music over the summer that I knew would fit my students. The ones that I had coming in, and was really going blind for the students that I either had met or I knew were coming, but I haven't had them in middle school choir before. And so with that leap of faith, we're singing a lot of music that we typically wouldn't sing. And thankfully, it's going well. So we're hoping to put together a band for this music, and we're going to have our first concert at a park instead of at the church downtown as we typically do. So that's just one way we're trying to keep the kids motivated in this time.
Wow. Mr. Wade, do you think by any chance, because when you talk about band students, one thing that has to be right is your embouchure, right? Your embouchure, the mouth, the lips, or how you do these things. Do you think some students been practicing this summer at all?
No, they haven't.
Since March?
No, they haven't done anything. Matter of fact, we took a spring trip to Orlando, and this is when things were starting to really get pretty big. And we got back on Tuesday, the week of spring break, and then our students played that last note Monday, and they haven't picked up a horn since. And so we're just now getting to the point where we're issuing out instruments, and you can just think about the high school students. And of course, the middle school students who haven't played since then either. So it's definitely going to take a while. I mean, a long time for students to get back to where they need to be as far as playing wise. I mean, you being a band, one of the things it's going to do, we're going to do a lot of long tone just to try to sustain the sound, because middle school or high school, unless they have their own instrument, they haven't played in such a long time. So it's going to take a little while. It's just like you've been in a wheelchair or something like that, and all of a sudden you're trying to learn how to walk. It just don't happen overnight. Miracles do. Yeah, I agree with that, but it's just going to take a while for us to get back into playing position, because we got to go back to basics. And a lot of those middle school students that will be ninth graders, we're going to have to reteach them some fundamental things that they didn't learn in the last part of their 8th grade year. So, I mean, we're going to make the best of it. We're not going to complain about it. I'm not the only one who's having to deal with it. But when it's time for us to be ready to perform, we'll be ready to perform. But it's just going to be a building block, a slow process, trying to get everything taken care of. So it's unfortunate, but that's just the cards we're dealing with right now.
My. Well, when you talk about choir students, I know in church we've tried our best to practice social distancing by having everybody with their own microphone. You get a mic, you get a mic, you get a mic. It's like the Oprah show at church. Hey, you get a mic, you get a mic, you get a mic, you get a mic. That's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? To the point we running out of mics. Okay, so how in your choral, how would you practice the social distancing thing? Because one thing about music, you have to be able to listen. You have to hear each other. So how are you guys going to teach that to say, hey, listen to your partner, listen to your note, and all these things?
Are they wearing the mask while they sing?
Yeah, while they 6 feet apart away from each other. I mean, like, how y'all gonna do that? Tell me, please. The people want to know.
Well, we are requiring our students to wear masks at all times. So probably the most repeated thing I've been saying for the last 5 days is sing past the mask. And it typically works. They do have trouble hearing. They do. And I'll show you this. Us educators are wearing these face shields as opposed to the mask. It's easier to teach in this. And the kids are all wearing these, so having them sing through those cloth face mask has been a little difficult, but they're doing it. As far as the social distancing, like I told you earlier, my room is quite small, so I've got them spaced out as far as I can. All their belongings must stay under their chair. I don't allow them to share anything. They have bottles of water they can fill up before they come into the room. They're not allowed to move around because I don't want to hear from parents when one of these kids comes down with the virus and they ask them how it happened. Well, I did my job. So there you go.
Wow. And you, Mr. Wade, how are you going to do that? I mean,
We're gonna be outside a lot, doing class. I mean, that's just what it is. We're gonna be outside doing a lot, doing class, after school. It's just safer for us to be outside. We can't wear masks. We can put some different things and instruments and stuff like that, but as you know, like a flute, they blow straight out. So
right.
We're going to be outside as much as possible and spread out as much as possible. Even if we're able to do a football season, even in the stands, we're going to be spread out as much as possible, trying to make sure that we're doing the best that we can, and that's all we can do. But it's just one of them things. We can't really cover up our face. If we do have some inside stuff, we'll definitely, put it back on. But, there's air coming out nonstop. So
Right.
we will be outside a lot, doing a lot of practicing, a lot of teaching. Tell everybody come in one at a time, get their horn, take it outside, case with them, get a stand. We'll have a process, where everybody's not running into each other and stuff like that. Even when we break, we're going to make sure they stay as far apart as possible. And we have to have some facing this way, facing the other way, but we're going to make it happen. So
your field show, Prof. Your field show. What is a field show going to be like?
it's going to be very modified. It's going to be very modified. Right now, we're doing a non-competitive non-competitive show. So it may be 32 counts being still, 32 counts going 4 steps and 4 steps the other way. So we're not going to be able to do our traditional UIL stuff that we normally do. Again, just because we want to make sure we try to keep the distance. We may be from goal line to goal line and stuff, just standing still playing on a lot of performances. But right now we're in the process of trying to get numbers where we need to be, draw up a show that's going to be beneficial and healthy and as safe as possible. I mean, you won't be able to cover everything, but we're going to do the best that we can. But it's going to be a modified show. We won't be doing a lot of crossing over and going between each other and follow the leader stuff. It's just here's your 16 feet between each person and there's yours. So we're going to do the best that we can. But like I said, it's something everybody's doing with all the bands all over the nation.
People want to know. Will the Big Blue Band still break it down?
We're going to break it down. We may not break it down together. We just have to break it down individually. But we're going to break down what needs to be broke down. So, but no, a lot of that stuff, I'm writing out music, a lot of the songs we play, we're going to continue to play. And so, I mean, we still going to enjoy and still, like I say, try to be safe and keep our distance and still put out a good show. If it's in the stands, if it's in the field or wherever, we're going to make sure that we're representing our school and band to the fullest.
Wow.
Coach Jamal, let me ask you this: since Texas College will be online this coming semester, will there be a basketball season?
Right now, we're looking to have a basketball season in the spring. So right now we're on for the spring. They're looking at bringing the players back sometime in December to try to get them in shape. And we'll start the basketball season in January. And we'll go right into our conference games. So we really don't play too many conference games this semester anyway. So we didn't really take a real big hit on that. So we pretty much canceled all of our preseason games. So right now we have January, going into January, going right into conference play for now.
Okay. I was wondering about that, because basketball is a real big thing in what I consider the East Texas Big Three. That's Jarvis, Texas College, and Wiley. And so, we use those are games that are very, very big, very intimate. Satan is very passionate, and we all be there to see it, and we all want to be a blessing to it. So, but wait a minute. That was just something I just saw. Bam! There it is right there. If you've been liking this so far, my good friends and brothers, and if you like the quality of Inside the Path to Study, each week we try to bring you quality. Go ahead, right there. You see it, I see it, we see it. It's a Cash App. Inside the Path to Study 2020. Whatever the Lord put on your heart, $1, $2, $3. It'll help us make sure that we continue to bring good quality production to you for the weeks, months, and even years to come. All right? So again, that's Cash App, Inside the Path to Study 2020. So yeah, Coach Evans, I want to make sure now, how will you guys play basketball? How do you play basketball practicing social distancing? Tell me. I want to know.
That's a tough question. Like we've seen the NBA, they're in a bubble, so they're able to manage where their players go and things like that. They have to check in, and they do corona tests every day. Now, I don't know what plan we have in place with Texas College as far as doing that. So I'm not even really sure, because I know for a fact that you can't social distance when you playing defense on somebody. You can't stand 6 feet off of them in a basketball game. It's social distance, so it's gonna be tough. My prayer is that we have a vaccine before the first of the year. So because any other way around that, even if we put on masks during practices, even if we wear masks during games and things like that, it's still no way around it when you have to touch and feel on each player, bumping and pushing and things like that. So I'm not sure what plan we're going to have in place as far as through the college. So that'd be interesting to see what we'll do.
So you will admit, everybody, all of you are taking it day by day.
Yes.
You're taking it day by day with your programs, week by week. And so, I asked this question because even though we're inside the Path to Study, what are y'all things spiritual? We know that all three of y'all are very spiritual men, but how can you encourage your students, spiritually, emotionally, without trying to be physically during this particular time? Because even though we are physically, even though we're socially distant, we still have to be kind of like spiritually connected. So what are y'all doing during this particular time to be enlightening and encouraging to your players and your students and different things like that?
Well, I'll start off. I have a group chat with my players that we like a Zoom. We do Zoom videos to try to interact with them all at once. That encourages them because even the players and the students are a little down about what's going on right now. So me and Coach Norfleet, the head coach, we try to take turns zooming our players, talking to them, letting them know what they need to do as far as schooling. Some of them, we have 8 seniors on our basketball team this year. So it's very important to get them to even enroll in school this fall, for graduation rate, because it's life past basketball. So we just try to get check on them, encourage them, make sure they're doing what they need to do as far as registration, and just like I said, give them words of encouragement, because through this time, it's hard for everybody. So we just want them to see our face on a regular basis. So that's kind of some of the things that we do. Me and Coach Norfleet does.
Man, you said that in the NBA that they are practicing. I mean, they are testing every day after every game and everything like that. We know that's the NBA. They got plenty of resources, but for schools and colleges and different people, is that something that you all will consider? I mean, because 1 minute you can be fine, and then the next minute you may not be fine. What are your plans for that? A student come in on Monday, they're fine, they're wealthy. They go home, they go outside, play, they come back, they don't know they have it. 5 days later, they find out they have it. I mean, so what? I mean, what's the game plan? What's the end result? Does everybody get tested? Do you shut down? Do you quarantine your whole program? Do you just stop? I mean, what would be the end game in your mind?
Well, I know for Henderson, were you speaking to me or all of us?
Yeah, anybody.
Okay. I can speak for Henderson, what Henderson is doing. Every student and every staff member has their temperature taken before they're allowed. Staff is allowed to enter their room, and before students are allowed to enter any building. We have a room here in the main building that we use for isolation. If a student has any symptoms, if they're nauseous, if they have a cough or anything that seems remotely like the virus, they're sent into that room, and that room has kids in it every day. And I know they've sent several home today. Some of my students today went home because they had those symptoms. They're not allowed to return for 10 days, or they can come back after they go and get the examination and have a written letter from the doctor that says they do not have the virus. If the numbers continue to grow and the more students we have in isolation and positive test results come back, then I'm sure that we will shut down again. So that's that.
Wow. Mr. Dr. Wade, do you think that's the plan?
Yeah, right now it's just a lot of unknown. We can do all the things we need to do. We also have, I know the band for sure will have those thermal things, taking temperatures and stuff like that. But like I said, you have to really do some contact tracing. Who was around this person, who was around that person. I know the district and the school, excuse me, have protocols and things set up for those things. And I think like the room, the isolation room, the stuff like that, even for teachers. So, like I said, you want to hope for the best, but, you're expecting, whatever happens, it may be a shutdown, because like I say, 1 or 2 may be okay, but if it start affecting a multitude, then, you got to do what's best. And so, like I say, all we can do is just really try to do those precautions, because we're not going to be able to control everything that happened. Like the coach said, a lot of kids are going here or going to the store, or they're working, they're around different people. We can't really control that. And so all we can do is try to, when they come here, try to make sure we do our part. And that's, if everybody can do their part, then I think it helps a lot. But when you got one doing their part and then everybody else doing something different, you can really come into a lot of problems that we don't need.
Let me ask y'all this. Are y'all concerned with your own health as well as the health of your staff members and the students? Are there any concern?
I think it's a lot of concern, because, whether you believe it's real or not, people are dying, and they ain't dying just because, so there's some people, as they say, asymptomatic, and they may be okay. And then some people are really going through some things, and then just the long-term effects, if you do. So there is a lot of concern. I'm not going to say I'm scared or anything, but I am concerned because I do have a daughter that I want to make sure that I'm don't want to bring anything to her, and family members, I play at the church and stuff like that. But yeah, there's a lot of concern and stuff, and we just try to do the best we can, even for as with our students, we love them to death, but have to let them know, hey, we gotta keep our distance and stuff like that. All you can do is just take the proper protocols, proper protection, and just pray a lot. That's the main thing we can do. And I tell people all the time, some stuff we can't control. We all from the church you're gonna have to pray, because what we can't do is worry about something we can't control when He can control all of it. So that's one of the things. It's concerning. It's gonna be a concern for a while, because when you least suspect it, something can happen, and it can go a situation. I've had family members whose friends, young age, who's contacted the virus. Some have made it, some have not made it, recover from it. So it's definitely concerning. I mean, anybody in their right mind is concerning.
When I was in school, I believe that's when they took
35 years ago.
When I was in school, I believe that's around the time when they took prayer out of school. Maybe God did this to put prayer back into school. I like what Brother Larry said. He said, all we can do is pray. When it's too big for us, it's just right for Him. Yeah. So, we want to make sure that all of our staff is covered, all of our students are covered, because we don't want to see anything happen to anybody. And especially if they're under your care for a certain amount of time during the day in your classroom or whatnot. We want to make sure that everybody is covered. We're getting ready to hear our final thoughts and last comments. Brother Starling, go ahead and give us your final thoughts and your last comments concerning going back to school, starting back to school, and what's to come.
Well, first of all, to all of you, thank you for allowing me to come on this this meeting tonight and be a part of this. I do appreciate it, and thank you for considering me. I suppose my final thoughts on this are: it's all in God's hands. Everything is in God's hand. All I try to do is be positive and pray and go on and do what I know I have to do and what God has called me to do. And at the end of the day, what I cannot handle, I leave in His hand. What He has called me to handle, I try to take care of. And that's all I can do. So that's the way I have to live it.
All right. That's awesome. That's awesome. Coach Evans, go ahead and give us your final thoughts and last comments concerning to school or not to school.
First, I want to thank you guys for inviting me on. One of the things I can say, speaking from experience and myself, you still have to live your everyday life. Be cautious, because you still have to go grocery shopping, you still have to go to work and things like that. But be cautious in what you do. Parents that are sending their kids to school, please monitor your kids. Don't send your kids to school if you know they have any type of symptoms or anything, and be selfish like that. And your kid may get someone else sick. For me, I try to keep my mind positive. I don't watch a lot of the news and things like that because once your mind goes and you start wondering, it can take a hold of your body. It actually it did me. Speaking from personal experience, I had to turn my cable off because it was just too much for me. My anxiety started going on. My mind started wandering. So I try to pray a lot. I pray a lot. I have got closer to God through this experience. So people that are having anxiety and things like that, depression, and try to find something positive that you can do and look forward to keep your mind busy. Be safe out there, and everyone just be safe and stay prayed up.
Wow, that's word of wise, Coach. And Brother Wade, hit him with a little flight of the bumblebee.
Yeah, once again, thank y'all for having me on. really do consider it an honor to be on here. I watch y'all a lot, and so it's definitely a honor to be on here. But one of the main things, like they could say, is just try to take care of yourself. You know, you can't really worry about what people think about it, what they don't think about it. You just make sure you try to take care of yourself. I think we kind of passed the time trying to convince folks that this thing is real. And so you're gonna really just have to take care of yourself. Parents, take care of your kids. You know, also be mindful if your child is sick. You know, that's one of the things you just need to make sure get them checked out. I know a lot of times, even before this pandemic, a lot of students come to school sick anyway, but we just can't do that right now because you have to look out for your neighbor, and we don't want anything to jeopardize that. So, like I say, you know, we're here, we're at school, we're going to try to do what we can to teach the students that we have wherever they may be and do the best we can. But at the end of the day, we're going to need a lot of prayer from a lot of other people other than us on the outside, really interceding for us to pray for us because we need all we can and stuff. And so, you know, I wish all you other guys, you know, the best of the year for whatever y'all are doing with your schools and stuff and your programs and so on. And like I said, pray for my program. You know, when you're dealing with people, a lot of time it's like a ministry because a lot of people depend on you. So, like I said, I'm trying to stay positive and keep my mind right. So when the kids look at me, I don't need them to be all nervous and saying, "Mr. Wade, look bothered." You know, no, I'm not. You know, whether you fake it till you make it, whatever you got to do. But it's important that we pray for the leaders and also pray for the fathers too. So again, thank y'all for having us on.
I want to salute all of the staff everywhere. I want to salute all three of you all for continuing to do what you all do in the midst of madness, in the midst of, I mean, it's a lot of confusion. And I want to commend you all for sticking with it along with your co-workers. You got some people that said, we're not going back. And some folks said they wasn't going back. And some parents said we're not sending our kids back. But we want to thank you all for sticking with it. And, you know, here's the thing. Whether we go or we don't go, education has to happen. Whether we get sick or not sick, education must still go on. And so people are going everywhere else. They're going on vacations. They're doing a whole lot of stuff right now. And so if we can do all of that, surely we can send some prayers to the people that are working with our children as they get ready to go back to school. Pastor Collins, do you have any final comments and last words?
I do. I apologize for the technical difficulties we have here in Longview. I'm in my job site. So I thank all the guests that came on and y'all sharing your time with us. We apologize definitely to the Newt that's on the show tonight. And that's still my good friend right there, Coach Evans. He's actually coaching with another one of our frat brothers. So he can't get away from us. But we thank y'all for tuning on tonight. Thank you, Mr. Sterling. We know you're one of the world's greatest vocalists. You sing and make it look easy. And so we all trying to emulate you. The three preachers in here tonight, we all trying to get where you are. Thank y'all for tuning in on tonight inside the Pastor Study. And appreciate you all. And to my two co-hosts, appreciate you guys for covering and being able to run the show with my technical difficulties. So thank y'all for having my back on tonight.
Oh man, like always, brother, like always.
All right, man. Appreciate it. We've had a good time.
We really did. We got some better insight, and we know what to do in the particular time. And so we thank y'all for being here. Again, all our viewers and friends and loved ones, please like, share, and comment, and be a blessing, my dear good friends. Be a good blessing to us if you can. Help us out. Help us so we can help you. That makes sense? All right.
All right. I don't have any last comments. It's on you now.
Well, my brothers and sisters, we know that times have been hard and difficult. I ask that you continue to please pray for my family. This past week, here at Dale Chapel Church, we lost a great member, and we eulogized her on Friday. Then Saturday, my wife's first cousin passed, and we eulogized him. on this past Saturday. While in the midst of all that, I received a phone call that changed my life, changed my mind. It let me know that my Aunt V, Claire Vivian, is gone to be with the Lord now. So as we leave you now, I want to just say this snippet of a song to you. Temptation hidden snares often take us unawares, and our hearts are made to bleed for a thoughtless word and or deed. And we wonder why the test when we try to do our best, but we'll understand it better by and by. That's M.L. Collins. It's Marcus Kente Jones. I'm Marshall the Bishop Johnson, and you've been inside the Pastor Study.
Checkmate.
Yep.